to Savita Dental College, lecture class in prosthodontics. The topic is teeth selection. The term itself is quite self-explanatory. We are going to review methods for selecting denture teeth for complete denture patients. We can divide teeth selection into selecting anterior teeth and posterior teeth separately. So we can select the size, form and color for the anterior teeth and the size and form for posterior teeth. We don't need to select color for posterior teeth since it's not in a very aesthetic zone. We can select the size of anterior teeth based on pre-extraction records, anthropological measurements, anatomy concepts, and other methods. Pre-extraction records include diagnostic casts, X-rays, photographs, teeth of close relatives, and preserved extracted teeth. So you can use casts. You can use a ruler or a tape and measure the distance between the two canines. That will give you the width of maxillary anteriors. All your denture teeth come in a mold. They are all pre-measured. So if you just know the width of the maxillary anteriors alone, you can get the width for all the other teeth as well. You can use X-rays, but they're not very accurate since they're prone to magnification errors. You can use pre-extraction photographs. The only thing is you need to make life-size images before extracting the tooth. Or you can use the preserved extracted teeth. You can check the size and shape of the tooth, but not the color of the tooth. You can use anthropological measurements. It uses measurements of the head to determine what the size of the tooth could be. So you can use a cephalic index, take the circumference of the head, divide it by 13 and get the width of the central incisor. Berry's biometric index gives you bizygomatic width by 16, width of the central incisor, or the length of the face by 20, which will again give you the width of the same tooth. In this Pound's formula, similar to Berry's formula, the only difference is here the length of the face is divided by 16 to get the length of the central incisor. Or you can use interalar with the distance between the two ala of the nose. You can use anatomic landmarks to check the width of anterior and posterior teeth. You can mark a line from the incisopapilla to the hamular notch and another line from the two hamular notches. This will give you the combined width of the anteriors and posteriors. You can use canine eminence since the canine eminence lies directly apical to the canine before it is extracted. Or you can use the buccal frenum which lies immediately behind the canine eminence, or the corner of the mouth and the interalar width again. So moving on to concepts, Winkler suggested there are three factors: physiobiological, psychological, and biomechanical. Physiobiological refers to the flange thickness. If your flange is too thick, it will lead to labial fullness and it won't look very aesthetic. The psychological evaluation, you can evaluate the patient's side. If they're very happy, they will have an elevated campus line. If they're depressed, if they'll have a lowered campus line. And biomechanically, the teeth should be right on top of the ridge and on the neutral zone. You can also go by Leon Williams' Stiple-Form theory. He suggests making an outline of the face shape. So the person in this picture has a tapered face. So just invert the shape, you will get a tapered tooth form. He suggests that is the form of the tooth that is recommended for this patient. And the temperamental theory by Dr. Sparzin. It is based on a very historical theory that the body is made up of four humors: sanguineous, phlegmatic, choleric, and melancholic. And any imbalance between these four humors leads to different physical and mental characteristics for the patient. Or the harmony concept by J.W. White. He suggests that the size of the tooth corresponds to the size of the head, color of the tooth corresponds to the color of the eye. You can also use the other forms of measurement: the face size, intra-arch space, and lip length. Intra-arch space and lip length are quite important. If the intra-arch space is quite less, then you will need to be grinding denture teeth, or you will be thinning them out or use shorter teeth. Lip length is also important since complete denture patients are usually elderly. They have decreased muscle tone, so the upper lip starts to sag. So you will need to use longer teeth to have nice exposure.